perform out there, turn on defense late, finish the game on strong. Talk about the whole lot today.
Well, it's our first time out against some other guys, which is fun, you know, for the guys who have been going against each other for a little bit, and get a feel. You know, this is a process that's going to take some time, and some good moments, and like you said, you know, the times where we looked a little sluggish. I think that's guys getting to know each other on the court at this level, and we have so many new ones that it's going to take some time. I was happy how we responded a couple times. I wasn't really thrilled that it was such a close game, and you know, when that's happening, I think our pride and our effort started to come out a little bit with the defense. So at points it was where we wanted it defensively in terms of how active 5 guys were on the floor, deflecting and trying to get aggressive. But there were a lot of lulls, and I think that's probably where you saw us sluggish.
Do you feel like you guys were, like you mentioned, pretty active overall defensively? But it seemed like, especially in the first half, they were able to stay kind of close because of their ability to rebound.
Well, ball pressure and was just okay to start the game.
Mm-hmm.
So then they were moving the ball around pretty good, and defensively we weren't getting through screens. I mean, a lot of the technical little details we weren't taking care of, and you know, you could have one guy mess it up. You have one guy, you know, not fight through the screen the right way, and the rest of the guys are in the right position. But you know, that's part of the learning process and really building on our defense. I think when our point guards were aggressive, setting a tone, everybody stepped up.
Yeah.
I think when they were kind of just out there, not really trying to deflect or push the aggressiveness, I think we struggled. So, but a lot of guys, as we talked during the game, responded. Once they came out of the game, they really tried to go back in and do the right thing. So I was really pleased with that.
You talk about what it was, you know, with Juan specifically. I guess he was one of those guys kind of got going late. I mean, his first game as a topper, but overall, I just feel like he did.
Well, he said he was trying to get the jitters out. I don't know if he told you that, you know, which I'm sure there are some. If he's on his way out, you know, he is very, as you see, he's very quick, and he has, you know, a lot of God-given talent. And I think as we're starting to build our offensive scheme, you know, he's trying to figure out where to get things done and how. We're trying to work with him fundamentally to make sure that he's getting better every day. And you know, he's done a good job, and you see when he played with energy in the second half, he was, you know, he can do some things. I just want him to realize how good he can be at times, and what makes him good at times. It's when he plays hard, it's when he really tries to post up, it's when he limits his dribbles where he's more efficient, more effective. With so many gifts, he has to learn how to pass the ball and make sure that he's finding teammates, because he can be a big weapon in that area. So, but you know, pregame jitters a little bit, and first half jitters. But I think you saw him. One thing I really think he went and got some rebounds. You know, he goes and gets rebounds. He's a guy that can play by the rim and go get them with 2 hands.
Do you feel like Cliff lived up to kind of the billing that you'd given him on Wednesday? You mentioned, or earlier in the week, I guess you talked about his hustle in boot camp. Seemed like he was on the floor taking charge and fighting for stuff.
I'm really proud of him. I'm really proud of him. He's come a long way. You know, is he there yet? No. I mean, he's got some work to do, and he'll make a mistake here and there. But I told him before the game, you know, that if we had a 3 that was a little better at 3, Juan or Pet right now in terms of our offensive scheme, he would have started.
Yeah.
But he was going to be the first one off the bench, and I was just happy with the effort. You know, he's made a little bit of a name and reputation with our staff because he's been consistent,
yeah,
and he's played hard. You know, I just want him to keep going on that and not try to do too much. You saw him try to do too much a couple times, and you know, it can get out of control in a hurry on a big fella. But he also does some great things. You know, he had a great pass in transition, one-hand pass for a layup for, I think, Pet, and he had that 3-point play. You know, he can handle the ball and do some things. You just kind of got to reel him in at times.
I think he's finally bought into what you guys want him to be. Being last year, he looked lost a lot, and as the year went on, I think he started to kind of play within himself. You feel like he's starting to buy into.
I think so. I really think so, and I hope so. You know, I think he's trying, and he's listening better than ever. He's focused better than ever. You know, he's working on his game more. He's just in touch more. And you know, you talk about the jump. A lot of people talk about the jump that junior college players make from their first year to second year. It's just like freshman to sophomore for high school kids, but I hope he's making that jump, and I think he's off to a good start.
I know it's, exhibition game, but just with the lineup you started out with Snap out there, how did you feel like that?
I thought Snap played excellent on both ends. He's the kind of player you see athletically, and he's willing to get in a stance and challenge the ball. He doesn't get driven a whole lot. He's active with his hands. He likes defense. He's physical. He's doing a lot of things at a high level. That's why he's on the starting team right now. And on the offensive end, he's really, he's aggressive. He knows how to pass the ball. He had a couple chances tonight that he could have brought the house down with an alley-oop if it was in the right place. But he's one of those guys, too, when he comes off the court, he always asks, what do I got to do better? What am I doing? What do you need? And you like that as a coach because you know he's listening and thinking about the game.
How much should that starting five be read into, I guess most notably because Sergio didn't start the game today?
I don't want you to read into it a whole lot. I didn't want Sergio to read into that a whole lot. I just said, hey, I want you to handle this like a mature adult and a senior, and there's two ways you're going to handle it, the right way or the wrong way. And, typical Serge, he said, okay, he said, just don't leave me out more than 5 minutes. That's Serge. But he came in and tried. He tried. He was disappointing defensively sometimes, and that's where the lapses have been in practice, so that's why, I'm trying to get his attention.
Are those five that you started, are they your best five right now?
I think as we build this, you're trying to get more and more guys on the, playing in the black, so to speak, and understanding that we got to have the whole team ready to go come season. And I think we're at about, 6 guys or so are pretty dialed in and ready for the level that we're going to be competing against. We got to keep getting more and more guys involved. And some of those guys that are coming off the bench, they got a ways to go with the whole system, the whole expectations of what we have, buying into roles, those types of things. And as we get better, you'll see more and more guys get in the lineup.
Brown was one that came in late. I believe the only one that didn't play until that point. Does he fall in that category of somebody who's just really not ready for this level yet?
He's got a ways to go, to be honest. I think Ken Brown has a lot of energy. He just doesn't quite know how to use it, and he hasn't figured out what we expected. The expectations are a lot higher, and especially on a point guard. So hopefully he gets the point and the message sooner or later and really brings it at a higher level. I never have to worry about his energy. I think he tries, but you got to try. You got to try mentally. You have to understand how to run a team, and that's the stuff he's got to get better at.
Obviously, you said you didn't want Sergio to read anything into not starting. Did you want Ken to read something into the fact that it took him such a long time to get?
I think so. I don't think there's any doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. Shying away from. We're all adults, and you're trying to motivate kids, and you can motivate them in different ways. Sometimes, Juan, for instance, one time I took him out of the game for not blocking out, I think, or something, and I put him immediately back in the game. So you try different tactics, and you hope they're listening. But we're not going to have what we had at times last year with issues with attitude or any of that stuff. So we're gonna correct that stuff early, and hope that everybody buys into what we're trying to get to.